Today I'm giving you some advice. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. I was in army cadets at school, and one of my so-called friends, we all dressed up in army uniform and we had rifles. They didn't give us live ammunition. Good thing they didn't. They gave us blanks to fire, which are still ammunition, but they don't have the explosive force. This guy, he put the rifle down on his boot and fired the trigger. He was seriously injured by a blank going through the leather of his boot. He shot himself in the foot. Now, I'm talking about victorious living, and I'm advising you not to shoot yourself in the foot. I've got a proverb here, Proverbs 5 and verse 12, all the different versions of that. It says in Proverbs 5 and verse 11, this is from the Berean, Berean study Bible. At the end of your life, you will groan when your days are spent, and you will say, how I hated discipline, and my heart despised reproof. I did not listen to the voice of my teachers or incline my ear to my mentors. Now, I do a lot of teaching and I do quite a bit of mentoring people as well. In other words, training people. And I find that when I teach on information, like updates on Iran, I get 80 visits, 80 views easily. When I teach on soul and how to be corrected, soul health and soul peace and stuff like that, I'm in the 40s, cuts the views by half. People are more interested in the world's situation about improving and being corrected. Now, my wife had a verse this morning. She's a prophetess, my wife. So when she says, this is what the Lord gave me this morning, my ears are listening. I will be a fool not to listen to my prophetic wife. And she said, this is what he gave me this morning, Colossians 3 and verse 5. And it says in the Amplified Bible, kill, deaden and deprive of power the evil desire lurking in your members, those animal impulses and all that is earthly in you and is employed in sin, sexual vice, impurity, sensual appetites, unholy desires, and greed and covetousness, for that is idolatry, the deifying of self and other created things instead of God. Now, are you aware that the devil accuses the brethren? In the court of heaven, the devil accuses us. And what does he accuse us of primarily? Idols. You say, well, I haven't got any idols. I mean, look around here, a little lion behind me. I haven't got a Buddha or anything like that in here. Idolatry is what Paul talked about in this list. Now, I'm going to make it very easy for you. I'm going to break that down into 5 pieces, 5 sections. Fornication. If you're having sex out of marriage, that is called fornication. And you are shooting yourself in the foot. Now, I know you might not like that, but God said that sex should be between a man and a woman in the covenant of marriage. I've made many mistakes in this area. I shot myself in the foot, and it's only by the grace of God that he's put me in a much better, much stronger, healthier, wealthier condition than I used to be. I was shooting myself in the foot. If you're in a partnership rather than a marriage and you're having sex, then you need to regulate that situation. Either get away from the person or get married and regulate it. Secondly, impure thoughts and actions. You say, well, these thoughts can't control them. Bring them into captivity. Don't think impure thoughts, things that are just dirty thoughts, we say as kids. Don't think dirty thoughts and don't do dirty things. Thirdly, unholy or forbidden desires. We can let our imagination run and think, oh, I'd like to do that. And you know very well that it's against God and it's not what he would want for us as his children. But you contemplate it and you imagine doing it. And of course it's forbidden, but you carry on doing it anyway. That is stupid. It's not ignorance, it's stupidity. You shot yourself in the foot. Greed. Oh, this is not a popular subject, greed. Greed comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes, all sorts of things. People who never have enough, or people who've never eaten enough. I don't really want to go there this morning, but there are a lot of greedy Christians around who have no discipline on the amount of food that they eat or the sort of food that they eat. Now, I am a good weight. I'm 69 kilograms, which is about 10 and a bit stone. For my height, it's about right. I'm not fat. I control and discipline what goes in here so that I can control and discipline what comes out of here. So greed. If you're greedy, never satisfied, you're shooting yourself in the foot and you are not going to have a victorious life. And lastly in this verse, covetousness. Wanting something that belongs to somebody else. Lust is another word, covetousness. All these things are idols. And the devil accuses us of having idols because the first commandment, if you look it up in Exodus 20, the very first commandment is don't have any idols before me. And so if you've got these idols in your life, the devil has plenty of ammunition to accuse you of. Therefore, take away, Paul says, deaden, deprive of power. Yeah, deprive the devil of the power of accusing us in the courts of heaven, because he will stop the blessings of health, wealth, united families, and all sorts of things. You're giving him ammunition to stop you. You are shooting yourself in the foot. My advice is stop doing it. Ask the Lord for grace to follow the instructions of Colossians 3:5. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.